so you should have out your note sheet from that we started on Friday. Like I told you on Friday, you should have 2 extra graphs there. So we are going to do 2 more practice problems just to reiterate how to complete systems of linear inequalities. Okay? So like I told you on Friday, I want you to pause the video. I'm going to give you the 2 inequalities. I want you to pause the video. I want you to work it completely. And then I want you to play the video to see if you got the correct answer. Okay, so we'll do an easier one first. So y is greater than 1/2 x minus 2, and y is greater than negative 2x plus 3. Okay, so pause it and then start it back up once you have your final answer. Okay, so remember you should be using 2 different colors. This is going to be helpful to you. So you're going to graph the first equation. I'm going to graph my first equation in green. So down to negative 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, so it's positive. Since it is a greater than sign, it's going to be dashed. Remember to go off of your graph so I can make sure that it was dashed. Pick a point on either side. I'm going to pick 0, 0. Plug it in. 0 is greater than 1/2 times 0 minus 2. 1/2 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Is 0 greater than negative 2? It is. So I'm going to shade on that side of the line. Remember, if your statement came out false because you chose a different point, you would shade on the opposite side of the line. You should use your other color for the other one. So mine's going to be red. So plus 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go down 2 over 1. And since it is a greater than sign again, it would be dashed. Pick a point. I'm going to go ahead and pick 0, 0 again. So 0 is greater than negative 2 times 0 plus 3. 0 times negative 2 is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. Is 0 greater than 3? No, it is not. So I'm shading on the opposite side of 0, 0 for only my red graph. Okay, make sure you're thinking of these separately until the very end. So what you should see is a what I call double shaded region. You should have a region on your graph where you have both of your colors shaded. What that indicates is that every point within this area would be a solution to this system. It'll work in both inequality statements. Remember, your final answer, you must pick out a point that works. So pick out a point within that region, and you have to write it down off to the side. This tells me that you know exactly where the double shaded region is. Again, your point can be different because there are lots of points that work in that section. All right. The next one, same thing. The only difference here is I'm going to give you equations in standard form, so you have to change them to slope-intercept form first. Remember, when you do that, if you're dividing by a negative, you must flip the inequality sign. So again, pause the video and work it out, and then play it to see if you have the right answer. All right, to save a little bit of time on the video, I went ahead and worked out and solved my inequalities into slope-intercept form. Make sure on the second one that when you divide it by a -3 that you flip the inequality sign, okay? I went ahead and graphed this first one in green. I have checked the point 0, 0. I came up with 0 is less than 3, and that is not true. So I'm going to shade on the opposite side. So then I just have to graph the other one. 1, 2, 3, down to -3, up 2 over 3. It is a dashed line again. Remember, if it's less than or greater than, it should be a solid line. I'm going to go ahead and check the point 0, 0. Guys, notice I'm putting it back into the original. I just do that just to make sure I didn't do any math wrong. 0 is less, oh shoot, 0 is less than 3, isn't it? So I shaded on the wrong side over here. I'm going to switch that real quick. 0 is less than 3. We'll ignore that green part up there. And then 0 is less than 9. So we're going to shade on this side because it's a true statement, which means our double shaded region is in here, is any point within this section right here. That's my fault, guys. Got in a hurry trying to make this video for you. So you should have picked out a point within that area and wrote it down off to the side. Again, I apologize for that. 0 is definitely less than 3. All right, you should have 6 examples now to go back and look at. You can go back and rewind and watch this video again if you need to, or if you get stuck at any point. But at this point in time, you should raise your hand, let the sub know you're done, and then get worksheet number 1 from her. Okay, remember tomorrow you'll do worksheet number 2, and both worksheet number 1 and number 2 need to be completed and ready to go for Wednesday.